Good evening, everyone. Chuck Ramsey, the Lawdog, here with you for Western Oklahoma Sports Night, our yearly tradition now that we're getting started, where we interview just all of the coaches we can gather from the Western Oklahoma area as football season is just about upon us, and it's going to be a great season this year. And as we make our way down I-40, we come across the Elk City Elks and head coach Zac Maynard coming off of three consecutive playoff runs and a lot of talent coming back. Coach, how's your summer been?
It's been really good. The kids have really gotten after it. They've really worked hard. Really feel like we've put on some weight and some size this summer, and attitudes have also been really good. So that's always a plus.
Definitely. And I tell you, I don't know. It seems, Coach, that around the schools here in Western Oklahoma, this 2025 class is just at every school I talk to, they've just got kids that have been looked at or got experience for. I mean, this class coming up, there's a lot of schools hanging their hats on how these seniors of 2025 will perform.
Yeah, the senior group really, even for us, but all of 4A1 really seems like everybody's got a loaded group, and it's a group that everybody seems to be excited about. Even in their own towns and in their own places. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and obviously a lot of games. These groups have played each other really for 3 years for the most part.
Definitely. And I tell you, the Elk City Elks really get out and compete. And you have obviously instilled a toughness in your team to go out and just really be able to go toe to toe with any team in the state. Talk about what it's been like instilling that into your program.
No, I just, I think Coach Meadows did a really good job of that my first year here of really setting a good foundation for that. And we just tried to build on that and continue to grow in the toughness factor and being mentally and physically tough. It goes back to being a good, we want these boys to be good men and good husbands and fathers. And if you're going to be that one day, you're going to have to be tough. And I know the style we play, you have to be extremely physically tough, but you also have to be extremely mentally tough to be willing to take those bruises and those hits week in, week out.
Definitely. And, I called my first Weatherford Elk City game last season. We were at Elk, and it was a hard fought game. And even with a backup quarterback and several turnovers for the Eagles, your guys had some trouble getting some separation, but there was obviously no quit in that team. And they end up coming out with a big district win and finished second. Is that something that you have just experienced, from your start at Elk City, and is that something that you'll be able to instill going on with even after this senior class?
Oh yeah, I mean, 2 years ago, we beat Canadian in an overtime game, and I think at halftime we were down by 3 touchdowns. So we try to control what we can control, which is our attitude and our effort, and we try to give it everything we got, and live with the outcome, knowing that we did everything we could to possibly win a game or compete. And obviously that's all we can ever ask of anybody is just to give their best and give it everything they got. So when you do that, you give yourself a chance to win games you're not supposed to win, and then that makes it a lot of fun.
For sure. And you mentioned Canadian Texas, and they are just kind of a powerhouse in Texas Class 3A. I forget if they're Division One or Division Two, but you guys have them on the season again. Talk about what it's like to play teams from the Lone Star State.
Well, it's different. It's really different, especially when you go out there and play. The rules are a little bit different, and sometimes you got to burn a timeout because you get in the heat of the moment and you forget a couple of those rules. But no, it's really been a lot of fun, hooking up with Canadian, and then of course we're going to go down and play Joshua, Texas later in the non-district. But the Canadian and us has kind of become a little bit of a rivalry. I think we really like playing each other and competing, and very different styles of play, which makes it even a little bit more fun, I think, for both of us. So it's always good to play those guys.
Yeah, Joshua, Texas will be your week 2 game on, well, actually week 3, I guess, because you'll have a bye between the Altus game in week 1. But Joshua, Texas, I had to look it up on the map. That's down south of Fort Worth, so you guys will be traveling quite a bit for that one.
Well, we're going to meet up. We got found a neutral site. We're going to play at
Okay.
Burke Burnett. Um, and really didn't with all the rescheduling and all the stuff that went on in the spring, it just made it impossible to find non-district games just as far west as we are, and due to location and probably some other things, that was the closest game that was the only game I could get. It was either Joshua or don't play. So
Yeah. Well, you got it in, and Burke Burnett, home of the Bulldogs, they're right across the Red River. That'll be a great neutral site affair, and that'll be a lot of fun to keep an eye on. So, last season, Coach, your team goes 7-4. You finished second in districts, not for, but just a couple of plays here and there against Clinton. You guys might have been the district champions. Tough first round, or I guess first round exit against Elk City or against Newcastle. They were a pretty tough team coming out of District 2. Talk about last season and what you'll be able to use as motivation for your team for this season.
well, I think last year we had 3 or 4 seniors on the offensive line that we were really trying to anchor on, and due to unforeseen circumstances, a couple of them really got bruised up and banged up early, and so we were uh, without several of those guys for really the whole season. When we finally did get them back, they were only about half speed, but um, obviously we had a great year. Anytime you win 7 games, get second in your district, you look at those losses to Canadian, who was a semifinal team in Texas, Carl Albert, who was obviously Carl Albert, and Clinton and Newcastle. There's really no, we didn't lose to somebody who we should have beat, I
Oh
guess, so
yeah.
to speak. So obviously, it was a good year. Got a lot of experience for our young guys. We returned 9 on offense and 9 on defense now, and um, last year we had some sophomore linemen have to step up and play, and it really, I think, gave them some growth and gave them some opportunities. And it's like Coach Roof used to tell me, if you're playing sophomores, you might as well just count that for every sophomore you're playing, it's a loss. So,
Yeah.
um,
Well, and it seems like I said, that seemed to be the case for a lot of squads around the area at times. But you do have a quarterback coming back in Logan Webb, and he's been a really solid piece of your offense.
yeah, a good kid. He's worked his tail off to get to where he's at. Worked hard to be, um, the guy that we're going to depend on to be our quarterback, and he's really grown in the leadership standpoint, and we're proud of him for that, and we really hope to build on that some more.
Yeah, and then a running back stable. You've got some returners and a lot of power and just good running involved in your attack there with your running backs.
Yeah, you got Tucker Garza and Jaden Wynn and Reese Burton, Catch Gino. We've got 4 or 5 of them that really can punish people, but also run by people and run around people. So we're excited about that. We're excited about where they're at and their growth physically and mentally over the last 6 months, starting in January when we started lifting again to the end of July to now. So we're excited about the growth that we've had as a program.
Yeah, when you guys played Clinton last season, I just about put out a hashtag. The spread is dead because it
Yeah.
was a team lined up with 3 running backs against an I formation, and that was a lot of fun to watch and just a lot of competition on the offense. But you've also got a receiver in Cole Bowie that can make plays as well.
Yeah, Cole's a really good athlete. He's only about 5'8", but he can jump up and dunk a basketball, and he can do lots of things from a very athletic standpoint. He also plays safety for us, and the beauty of kind of what we've done and what we do is most of the time that guy's out there in man coverage against Cole. So give him a chance, let him go make a play is really kind of what we try to do with him.
Talk about your trenches, coach, offensive line, then kind of into the defensive line, because we know a lot of players will play both ways at times. But talk about your lines of scrimmage.
Yeah, we've got Aiden Muse, who's one of the sophomores who had to play a lot last year. He's really grown into something. He's 6'4", probably 260, looking good, athletic. Fabian Armendariz is a senior. He played last year. Hopefully we can get him to play some nose guard and several other young guys, juniors. Kason Cobb, Tugger McQuistion, Dejon Jackson, Kai Brott. Lots of guys that are big. That a year ago they weren't ready to play high school football. But today, we're sitting here 5'11", 6 foot, 230, 240 pounds. So we're feeling a little better about that. And Cotton Sean's another kid who last year he got banged up early and had surgery over the offseason and really, really depended on him as a senior to really help lead us up front.
Yeah, and defensively on the back end, what do you have coming back, and how do you feel about your secondary?
We return everybody. We return all the back eight, both outside linebackers, both inside linebackers, and all four in the defensive back. So, well, I say that I'm replacing one in the defensive back. I'm replacing my free safety from last year, but we're really excited about those guys and the growth, and being able to do more than just the basic stuff since they already have that down.
For sure. District play is always tough in District 1, regardless, with you guys and Weatherford and Clinton. Then you have an improving Cash squad, and then Douglas enters the fray, and who knows who they may have on the field in Week 1 or district play. But Elgin comes down from 5A, so District 1 is really just going to be a gauntlet this season.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's high school football. It's 4A high school football. In Western Oklahoma, and it doesn't matter. I think I may have said this last year. When Weatherford, Elk City, and Clinton are good, 4A1's as tough as it gets, and then you just add Elgin into the mix, and like you said, Cash. Now you got 4 or 5 good teams fighting for 4 spots, and it'll be exciting to see how it all unfolds.
Definitely. Some expectations on your Elks this season, Coach. Vipe has them in the top 10. And then also, like I said, that district is probably going to be a foot race all the way down the end. What is your message to your team to kind of have them realize that there are some expectations, but they need to keep an eye or focus, I guess?
Yeah, I think that, we talk about expectations and really that's outside of the locker room, and we can't control what Mark Rogers says in a magazine, and we can't control what, whatever goes on in the Daily Oklahoman, but we can control what we do at practice. We can control how we present ourselves in the classroom. We can control how we do things within our locker room and the growth that we decide to have, day in, day out, the intensity that we bring to practice and the way we go about our business. And so that's all we really want to do. And I just tell my guys, hey, if you're willing to do these things, you're going to get everything you want to out of this season. Wherever that puts us, you'll know that we ain't got no regrets and we did everything we could.
For sure. And I tell you, it's going to be just a really fun season, I think, on all aspects of, like you said, 4A, District 1, a lot of talented teams, a lot of competition, and it's going to be really great. So last question, Coach, talk about your staff, what they help you with and how they work things and interact with your team.
Well, I've got a staff of 6. Coach Johnny Eastham is our defensive coordinator. Coach Zach Josie is our offensive coordinator. And then we split up duties, with the other 3 guys, Coach Peffer, Coach Shane and Shyler Thornton, and Coach Cooper. And we split everything up as much as we can. And then we have position meetings every day for 15 minutes apiece. Offense will meet for 15, defense will meet for 15. I've really put a lot on their plates as far as the drills and everything that they're looking for. We try to nail all that out before we ever go to practice. So when we get out there, it's go, 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 go. But, they've done a phenomenal job. They've taken a lot off my plate. Great coaches, great men. Really, really, really thankful for them.
Definitely. We're visiting real quick with head coach Zac Maynard of the Elk City Elks football team. Coach, your summer, did you get a chance to kick back a little, maybe on dead week, or did you just grind it out all summer long?
Well, dead week, we went and stayed with my buddy at Shawnee at a lake house, me and my family. So we got away for a couple of days, and then we up at 6 a.m. every day working.
And 7-on-7 out there on those fields in June and July.
Yeah.
That's some dedication right there. So, anyways, well, Coach, you guys begin your season on the 30th and week 0 affair when you host Canadian Texas. Then you travel to Altus the next week, and then you're off a week, and then you have the neutral site game against Joshua, Texas. And then, really looking at your district schedule, Coach, and, not only is the competition, but sometimes the layout of those games, you've got 3 head knockers right in a
Yep.
row to start out district play.
Yep. No, it'll be important to be healthy and try to get healthy through those games because it could come down to a 3-way tie at any given time in this district, I think, and being healthy each week will play a huge factor, I think, into where that everything falls at. And we'll play Canadian on the 29th.
Oh, okay.
It'll be a Wednesday game. Sorry, we had to change
My
that because
apologies.
the rodeo. So you
Oh,
get loose, you might come down and check that one out. It'll be a fun
yeah.
one.
I might have to come see you guys in Canadian Texas on August 29th with Coach mentioned you said Wednesday or is it a Thursday?
Thursday.
Thursday. Okay. So yeah, and that'll be the night before OU plays. You won't be going up against college football. That'll be a lot of fun. And then you guys are also available to be seen on Big Elk TV, part of the Paragon Network.
Yes.
So we'll be sure and check you guys out. Coach, best of luck this season, but one game, I'll have to say. So anyways, but we will try to catch up with you maybe about the start of district play or as things are winding down. I know you'll be busy, but I sure appreciate you taking the time to visit with us today.
Absolutely no problem. Thank you.
Thank you. He's head coach Zac Maynard of the Elk City Elks football team, and they've got a big season in store for themselves and a lot of expectation and excitement around the Elks program. This is Western Oklahoma Sports Night. I'm Chuck Ramsey, the Lawdog. Be sure and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, X, Instagram, and TikTok at Lawdog Sports. Leave us a message on our website, lawdogsports.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. And then also you can listen to the podcast on SoundCloud, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, or Apple Podcasts. Be safe out there. Don't text and drive, and sure don't drink and drive. And we'll talk to you real soon.